analytic numbers said that you guys finished under 2 for expected goals against. Just how frustrating is it to see that 6 going in net?
Yeah, well, it's 2 games in a row, so it's frustrating because you go to work in camp and you want to have a good start to the season. You do. You don't want to be digging holes and then trying to climb out of them. But it's a long year, okay? So I get that there's a level of frustration, but Georgie he's our guy. He's our starter, right? And I have full faith that he has the ability, the talent, the work ethic to bounce back and win us hockey games. It's a mental game right now, right? So we'll regroup, and then we have other areas of our game too that we have to get better at. It's a little bit of a mental game from our team. Like, we go down in the first period, and I could feel like the heaviness in our room right away. Everyone wants to come out, put on a good show, play to their best ability in front of our fans. All understandable, but it felt like, we had a whole season on our shoulders, and we're 4 periods into the season. So the message is, you got to have the commitment required on the defensive side of it. We have some details that we have to clean up. We looked at them the other day. We made a couple mistakes tonight that I didn't like, but we're working hard. We're competing hard. We have to be able to trust that everyone going on the ice is doing that. And then you got to free yourself up to relax and play instinctual hockey, on your toes hockey, make plays. And we did a lot of that tonight. We're showing signs of some good hockey, right? But some of the mistakes, it gets frustrating because they're going in. But we got to regroup, relax, put in the work, and then go again. So that's just the way I see it. You don't have another option, right? If you start feeling sorry for yourself, or you start pointing the finger, everything goes the wrong way, and it's way too early for that, right? It's way too early for that.
You did seem to get some juice when you did replace Georgiev. The team seemed to respond pretty well, but then just sort of fade again there. Was that the intent when you replaced Georgiev with
okay, it's a couple rough starts in a row, right? But I have to do what I think's best for our team, not for Georgie. I hate pulling him, okay? Because I'm a supporter, and he's our guy, and all of our guys feel the same way. But if it's not his night, then we got to do what we can, right? And Eustace has shown the ability to win us hockey games too. So it obviously hasn't worked out in the first 2 games, but I can't say I regret the decision. We have to, if it's not working, you got to change it, and you got to keep working on it and try to fix it. So that's what we do every day, When we win, there's things in the game we don't like. We go work trying to fix them. There's things that we do like. We try to build on them. It's the same thing now. It's about the process, not about the result. I get it's frustrating for our guys, but you got to relax, take a breath, and go back to and put the work in and the time in that's required, and make sure we show up with that effort and detail and commitment that's required to win a hockey game, and then we get a couple better performances. We did a lot of good things tonight. We had a lot of good scoring chances, but we missed the net a lot too, Some of our best chances coming down the slot. He made some big saves, no question, but we missed the net on some of our good chances. So we got to bear down a little bit. There's lots of things that we can get incrementally better on that can push us over the top.
You said you understand some of the frustration, and like Casey said, it's only 2 games, but there were very visible signs of frustration tonight. Stick smashes, one of your guys looked like he was yelling at Georgiev after one of the goals. Is there any concern for you?
Yeah, I didn't see that. If you're talking about Mac's stick smash at the end, I get it. It's end of the game. We're getting a penalty, which I thought maybe it should have been their penalty. Game's over. You let it out. I didn't see a lot of frustration. I just felt the heaviness, and everyone's trying to do the right thing and play the right way. And so it's a new group. Trust has to be built over time, right? And you want to know when you're playing and leaving it all out there that everyone else is doing the same, and you get frustrated when someone doesn't make a play here and there. But we got to channel that better than we are right now. I can't say I don't understand it, because I do. It's 2 games in and you're wanting to get the start. You know, you put in a lot of work to get ready to play this season, and it isn't going your way. But we gotta rechannel that someplace else and make it more productive.
What's your assessment of Ritchie and Kovaleno through 2 games?
I thought Kovy was good again. He did some good things. There's a physicality to his game. He was around the puck. It's I touched on this before. You get playing with Mac. You're trying to get him the puck all the time. It takes you out of your element a little bit. Like, it takes you maybe away from your identity a little bit. But I thought he did a decent job sticking to it. Rich was pretty quiet tonight. I didn't mind his game in Vegas, but he was pretty quiet tonight. And he's got to you got to trust his skill and his ability for me tonight. If I just, without looking at all of his shifts, which I will, and go through it with him because I think it's really important for him, he can use his skating way more than he is, right? He doesn't look like he wants the puck on his stick as much. Like, you watch him play junior, he's demanding the puck everywhere. He's moving all the time. He's freed up. There's a confidence about him. It looks like he's lacking that confidence. He wouldn't be here if I didn't think that he had another step to his game, right? So we'll see. We'll just keep building on it and see how he responds next game.
Casey Middlestat with goals in back-to-back games seemed like a player that the team was really excited to see develop throughout a full regular season. You moved him around a little bit tonight on the lines. What can you say about his performance through 2 games? Yeah,
loved his game in Vegas. I thought his line was really good. A little bit like Rich tonight for me. Like, he was involved in the game from start to finish tonight again, and competitive in some areas and made some plays. I want to see him use his skating more. You know, it's just I've seen him use his skating better than he did tonight. But it was all around. It was a solid game from him. Trying not we expect a lot from those guys right now with some of the guys out of the lineup. Like, we need them to be good, and we need them to be at the top of their game. He's been good, but I think he can give us a little bit more yet in the skating department.
2 straight games where every time it seems like you guys are building momentum and then it ends up in the back of your net. What can you kind of attribute to that?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of things. You can't. It's timing of our mistakes right now, timing of the goals that are going in. It's like you start to push, and if you're not playing, I don't want to say safe, it's the wrong word, but if you're not above pucks, like they get one on the rush again. We had numbers back on a couple of those rushes. I'd like to see us come up with a couple saves on some of those, but we gave up one not being firm enough at the front of our net. Like, we're trying to we're stressing the right things with our guys, and it was good for a lot of the game. But it feels like right now when you're struggling a little bit, it almost has to be perfect, right? And I'm just convinced we just put in the work, it'll come around. I don't like the timing of some of the goals that are going, because we're playing hard and we're pushing and we're creating some chances, and then we give something up on the other end. So there's a responsibility to the players away from the puck to get above it, and that's what we talked about the other day, and we'll revisit it again tomorrow. It was better tonight, though.
Ivan gets his first career point and nearly has a goal.
Yeah.
How can you affirm the things that he's doing well in his introduction into the NHL being some tough games?
Yeah, so it's great. He's another player that we're sitting down with his individual video. I've done a session with him. Cogs I'm on Ritchie right now, so he's taking care of some of the things that he's seeing in Ivan's game, and there's a lot of good. Like, he's been good. He puts himself in the right spots consistently enough that good things are happening. He's competitive, he skates, he doesn't look afraid to handle the puck and skate with the puck through the neutral zone, to delay in the offensive zone, try to make something happen. The decision making with the puck, if he has a play to make, he makes it. If he doesn't, he's putting it on a cycle. There's a lot of maturity in his game, and he's getting rewarded. Like, even the McKinnon the McKinnon goal. Like, he's patient enough in the slot coming downhill. When Mikko shoots it, he gets right in there and he gets his body around it, gets a forehand chance, and the rebound goes to McKinnon. He almost scored after that. Like, he's doing good things. I think he's a guy that can be a trusted 200-foot player. I think we can get some offense out of him, and I think he's a guy that, he can keep building his defensive game to help us.
Last question, anybody? Thank you.
Thanks.